Plaintiff David Arnold went to high school with the defendant. And although David is a straight man, the defendant, who is gay, keeps telling everyone that they are romantically involved. David's suing his former friend for breach of contract. Defendant Tim Burton insists David is bisexual, and he just wants David to come out of the closet like he did. Tim does not believe he owes David for anything, and he's countersuing for unpaid rent.
Start with you.
Well, back in, we went to high school, me and Tim went to high school together. We grew up together around the neighborhood, skateboarding and all that good stuff. I just want to let you know right now, Tim is gay, I'm not. That's one of the reasons why we're here. He's been going around telling
Because you won't be gay?
It's because he keeps telling everybody that.
That's because you're bisexual.
That we have a relationship going on, which is not true.
Okay, so you think he's mad because, well, you're suing him.
Yes.
You're saying that's why we're here.
Right. Well, that's one of the reasons why we're here. It goes
because you're mad that he's telling people you're gay.
No, there's more to it.
But that's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
Because he's gay and he says that you're gay.
Right.
Well, I see I'm out of the closet and he's not. And I just want him to admit that he's bisexual. And
what do you mean you want him to admit? If he don't want to admit, who are you to tell the man to admit? He wants to keep it a secret.
Well,
and we will. Won't you viewers tell anybody?
Plaintiff David Arnold says he and the defendant were friends until the defendant started telling everyone that they were intimately involved, despite the fact that David is straight.
All right, your deal is you want him to admit something that he says he is not.
Right, that is
All
correct.
right, what else are we here for?
Okay,
because you're not admitting, right?
well, I'm not going to because it's not true.
Okay, that's a good answer. Doesn't matter anyway.
All
this
right.
is nonsense.
I
But
know
go
the truth.
ahead.
Okay. Back in 2000, we lost touch with each other because his boyfriend at the time was real jealous and made him just stop talking.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Why is boyfriend getting jealous of you? And you getting mad and stop
We've been friends
talking?
for so long. Yeah.
Why couldn't you just sit the boyfriend down and say, what's the deal, man? We're all friends here.
And that's the point. That's what I keep trying to say.
Yeah, you might be making sense.
I'm glad you see it my way.
Just having fun with you, sir. Go ahead. So the two of you fell out a little bit, or you walked away from your friendship with him because you didn't want to cause any tension in his relationship. Got it.
So back in, I think it was around in April, I found out that his boyfriend that he had been seeing had been actually killed and hit by a car. So I, touched out to him. I was like,
sorry to hear that.
I, offered my condolences and stuff, and he told me that he was buying a house. So he asked me to do some work for him. I agreed to do the work.
Well, let me allow him to give some background. Sounds like you're getting into the crux of the case.
Okay.
Sir?
We have been friends for over 30 years. I met him when I first moved to Vandalia and was attracted to him ever since, because I'm out of the closet, he's not. And we had hooked up on several occasions before I met my lover in 2000, and there was issues between him and my lover at the time. It happened at the restaurant and here and there, and I just didn't want to deal with all that drama. So he did disappear, and then when my lover was struck and killed by a car in February of 2013, he had gotten a hold of me to say he was sorry, and at that time I was approached to look into a house that I currently am renting, and I was going to buy, and it needed a lot of work. It's a fixer-upper.
You were going to buy it from someone.
Right, yes.
And obviously it sounds like you contracted him to...
Well, I had known he was a handyman,
Okay.
and he did work that I was not familiar with doing.
Okay.
And
you knew he was pretty handy.
Yes.
All right.
Well,
I'm
yes.
just having fun with you, man. I'm cool with what you said. Nobody's thinking about him, man. Go ahead. So you agreed to make repairs to the property. Is that what we're here for? What happened?
I wrote up an estimate of what would need to be done, everything I needed to do, or he wanted me to do. He agreed to pay me through April to December of 2013. I wanted to get it done because On December 10th, I had to have severe stomach surgery. And after that, I couldn't do anything for 6 months.
Was that all right? Did that work out for you?
Actually, I'm still having problems with it, but
okay.
It's getting a little bit better.
So December of 13, you say?
Yeah, 2013.
Did you complete it?
Yes, I did.
All right. And you said it was an estimate you provided for him?
Yes, I have everything
We have
right
that.
here.
And once you repaired it, what did he say about your money?
Well, after my surgery was done, my doctors lived like close to him, so he agreed that I could stay there, to get to my doctor's appointments and everything like that. And we went to a party in February at Daytona 500 party, and his friends, they were our friends, and they asked me, they said, "What's going on with you and Tim?" And I looked at him, I said, "Well, I'm not gay." And he found out about it. I went to the house.
If I can say something, the week before we were at the same house and we were holding hands and all that other stuff.
Why are we back on this?
Well, so I'm just trying
to leave it alone. We heard you the first time. Well, you got to keep back into that conversation again. My goodness, why don't you just give him a speaker and just say it all you want? Go ahead. All right, so let's get back to the money.
So he said, I'm not. He found out that I had told him that. He said, "Well, if you're not gay, you're not staying here, you're not living here." He had my stuff packed, and it was out. I was out the door, and he said he wasn't going to pay me. He said he was going to pay me when he got his income tax return because he didn't buy the house. Or he was also working, and the money that he would get from work, and
all right, he gave you a bunch of stories. That's your point.
Plaintiff David Arnold says he and the defendant were friends until the defendant started telling everyone that they were intimately involved, despite the fact that David is straight.
Go ahead, sir. Tell me about this repair he made and $2,400 he says you haven't paid him for.
And that is correct. And at that time, I was planning on purchasing the house that he did all the repairs in. And in March of 2014, the house was sold from underneath me to another party. So I maintained as a renter of the said house. So since I didn't have any proceeds from buying the house to where I would own the house, so I would reap the rewards of the repairs that he did, then I would pay him at that time. Well, that fell through, so I told him, well, if I get a tax refund, I will pay you from that.
If
I did not get a tax refund, then I'm not going to pay you. And on top of that, if I'm the renter, why would I pay for something that was done to a house I'm not going to reap the rewards from?
This is why. You agreed to?
I can see, yes, I can see that.
Makes sense, huh? It makes sense that you agreed to pay the man. And now you're saying, well, there's a condition to that. If I get money, I'll pay you. If I don't get money, I'll never pay you. How does he owe you for rent, sir?
Well, because from December to February of 2014, he lived at my house while he was recouping from the stomach surgery. And so at that time, he wasn't doing any work for me.
When did you all agree to the amount?
$300 a month.
When did you agree to that?
After his surgery, December 2013.
Before moving in?
Well, he kind of already was living there.
When did he have his surgery, sir? That's what we're talking
December
about.
2013.
Okay.
And that's
and when he came out of the hospital, or before, when they were rolling him on the gurney, you said you walked aside the gurney, $300 a month.
Right.
And you can come on here before the Band-Aid, before they took the bandage off.
That's
you're kind of right. Is that true?
Yeah. He knew I couldn't work. Plus, he wasn't paying me.
Did you all ever discuss rent?
No.
You never agreed to pay him $300 a month? I was helping out with food,
and I was doing a little bit around the house. He never said nothing about rent.
And you did stay there 3 months?
Yes, I did.
And it sounds like he invited you to stay there because he needed help, sir. Come on now. Show me some evidence that he agreed to pay rent, because he has shown me conclusive evidence that you agreed to pay him $2,400, and you're talking about if I'd have gotten my taxes, I would have, but I didn't, so I never have to pay him.
Or if I bought the house.
Show me some evidence of rent agreement, sir.
Well, I don't have that because that was verbal.
All right, because this doesn't have any of those ifs you're talking about.
I'll remember that in the future to put if.
Please do. All your conditions must go on the contract.
Oh, all right, sir.
All right, and all you've done is list the things that need to be done, the amount, and you signed saying you would pay. I don't see anything saying about if I get my income tax, if I sell the house, if I get a job, if. I don't see one if. Judgment for the plaintiff. Your claim is dismissed. Have a good day.
still be friends if it's possible.
Well, as long as you admit that you're bisexual and not with her or whatever, I would fully agree with that. But I'm tired of being played, and tired of being hurt, and tired of being used.
That sounds like I was the one being used.
Nope.
Are you a victim of a crime and seeking restitution? If so, go to my website, askjudgemathis.com.